105 years. That's not an accident. I didn't survive this long by being careful. I survived by being hard. I've buried 3 wives, 6 best friends, more doctors than I can count on both hands. Every single one of them had advice for me. Now I'm the only one left giving it. I got 7 habits, 7 things I've kept every single year of my adult life. 7 things I believe, with everything I've left in me, are the reason I'm sitting on this porch instead of under it. Please subscribe to my channel. Keep sharing the kind of wisdom that only time can teach, the quiet truths, the hard lessons, and the stories that still have breath in them. Now, let's continue. My name is Randy Dawson. I grew up in rural America, worked this land most of my life. You see, I have watched this country go from horses to space shuttles, sat through 2 wars, a depression, a moon landing, and now you people are carrying computers in your pocket and asking an artificial machine what to eat. People get softer and sicker at the exact same time they got more advice about how to be healthy. More gyms, more apps, more pills, more doctors, more studies, and more people dying of diseases their great-grandfathers never heard of. Something ain't adding up. I never had a gym membership, never owned a juicer, and every doctor who ever told me to slow down, take it easy, watch my heart, every single one of them is dead. The one still here. One of them told me I was a walking heart attack at 68. He died at 71. I'm 105 years old. Yeah, I don't say that to be cruel. I say it because somebody needs to ask the question nobody is asking. If the experts know so much about how to stay alive, why do they keep dying? I'm not here to sell you anything. I don't have a book, don't have a supplement, don't have a program. All I've got is 105 years of doing the same things every single day and watching what happened to the people who stopped. That is my credential. It's the only one that can't be bought. This ain't about biohacking or morning routines or whatever word they're selling this week. It's about habits. Hard ones. The kind nobody sells because there's nothing to buy. Habit 1. The 4 a.m. reckoning. I have woken before sunrise every single day of my adult life. Not because I had to. Nobody made me. I wake up at 4 a.m. because that is the 1 hour of the day the world cannot lie to you. No noise, no distraction, no one needing anything from you. It's just you and whatever you're actually made of. Now, they'll tell you sleep is everything. Rest is healing. Let your body decide when to wake up. You see, my body would decide to stay in that bed until noon if I let it. That's the whole point. The body is not your friend when it's comfortable. It is your employer. And if you stop being the one who gives the orders, it will start making its own decisions. The first one being, maybe today I don't need to get up at all. You let that happen enough times, it starts to mean it. Yeah, I've watched strong men retire, finally get to sleep in, and be dead within 2 years. Not from illness, from the removal of necessity. The body, in its great efficiency, concluded it was no longer needed. And it was right. Every morning you get up before the world does, you're telling your body who's in charge. Stop doing that, and it'll start making that decision for you. That's the first habit. It's the simplest one, and the one most people will never do. Habit 2, daily cold exposure. I grew up in a place where hot water was a luxury, not a given. Cold water in the morning wasn't a wellness trend. It was just Tuesday. I didn't choose it. It chose me. And then I kept it. They tell you cold showers are extreme, dangerous for your heart. I have had one every morning for 90 years. My heart seems to have gotten the memo. But you see, here's what cold exposure actually does. And I'm not talking about the body, I'm talking about the mind. It trains you to tolerate what's unpleasant without retreating. without negotiating, without waiting until you feel like doing it. Every cold morning is a rehearsal for grief, for loss, for the things in life that don't have an off switch. You practice enduring small discomfort every day, so when the large ones come, and they always come, you already know what to do. If you can't stand cold water for 2 minutes, how do you expect to stand grief? How do you stand the loss of someone you built your life around? How do you stand anything that doesn't end just because you want it to? Yeah, cold water every morning for 90 years hasn't just kept my body sharp. It's kept my will intact. And at 105, I can tell you with everything I have, your will is the only thing that matters in the end. Habit 3. Purposeful physical labor. I have never owned a gym membership, not once in 105 years, but I have maintained this property for over 60 years. Fixed every fence, built 2 outbuildings with my own hands, chopped wood until I was 94, carried, lifted, hauled, and repaired whatever this land asked of me. People ask me what exercise I do. I do things that matter. That is the distinction nobody talks about anymore. You see, there's a difference between exercise and work. A machine in a gym goes nowhere, produces nothing, fixes nothing. You can spend an hour on it, and at the end of that hour, nothing in the world has changed except that you're tired. The body was designed to do things that have a consequence. When your labor produces something, a fixed gate, a mended fence, a planted row, your body understands it is needed. It responds accordingly. When it stops being needed, it begins the process of deciding it is no longer required. Yeah, my father worked until he was 88. Not because he had to, not because he needed the money, because he knew what happened to the men who stopped. He'd seen it, and he wasn't about to let it happen to him. The modern world has divorced the body from usefulness. That divorce is killing people faster than any disease I've ever seen. Habit 4. Deliberate fasting. I do not eat 3 meals a day. Never have. I eat when I'm hungry. I stop before I'm full. And there are days, regular days, not special ones, when I don't eat much at all. Now they'll come at you with breakfast studies and metabolism charts, all pointing to the same conclusion. Eat more often, eat balanced, never skip. You see, I have watched every person I knew who died of diabetes, heart disease, and the diseases of abundance. Every single one of them ate more than their body needed and called it reward. Your body is not a machine that runs better with more fuel. It's a system that runs cleaner when it's not constantly overwhelmed. Hunger is not a crisis. Hunger is not an emergency. Hunger is the body doing its maintenance. Let it. Stop eating when you're no longer hungry, not when you're full. There's a difference, and most people never learn it because they've been trained to finish what's on the plate, eat on a schedule, never let themselves feel empty. Yeah, I've been empty plenty of times. It didn't kill me. It made me sharper. The table was never meant to be the best part of the day. When it becomes the best part of your day, you're already in trouble. I eat to live. I don't live to eat. The difference between those two approaches is the difference between making it to 105 and not making it past 70. Habit 5. Radical honesty. This is the one that surprises people. They expect me to talk about sleep or vegetables or some ancient remedy nobody's heard of. And then I tell them, stop lying. Not the big lies. Most people don't tell big lies. I'm talking about the small ones, the social ones, the I'm fine when you're not fine. The performance of being okay in a room where everyone is performing being okay. The agreement you make to keep the peace that costs you something you don't even have a name for. I've watched people carry those lies for decades, and I've watched them age visibly under the weight of them. not from hard work, from the exhaustion of managing the gap between what they say and what they know. I'm not an easy man to be around. I've been told this many times, and I don't dispute it. I've ended friendships over my refusal to pretend. I've been called difficult, stubborn, and worse. And I don't regret a single one of those outcomes. Because the alternative, spending your entire life biting your tongue, swallowing what you actually think in order to be liked, is exhausting in a way the body eventually cannot sustain. Yeah, every lie you tell, your body knows. It keeps a ledger, a running tally of every time you betrayed yourself to make someone else comfortable. And by the time you're my age, the interest is due on all of it. I made it to 105 with my integrity intact. Most of the people who told me I needed to be more agreeable didn't make it past 75. Habit 6, letting go. There is one habit I almost don't include in this list because it's the hardest one, and it's the one I failed at for a long time. While I was in my mid-50s, something happened to me. I won't tell you what. I won't tell you who. But I will tell you that I picked up a grudge in that season, and I carried it for 11 years. And those 11 years, I aged faster in that decade than in any other decade of my life. My chest was tight. All the time. My sleep was gone. I'd wake up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, replaying the same conversations in my head. My hands started shaking, just a little at first, then more. The doctors couldn't find anything wrong. Ran every test they had. Everything came back normal. But I knew what was wrong. It wasn't in my blood or my heart or any organ they could measure. It was in my grip. I was holding on to something so tightly that my whole body had started to shake from the effort of carrying it. You see, the man I was angry at had moved on. He'd gone on with his life. Probably hadn't thought about what happened in years. And there I was, 11 years later, still punishing in my mind. Still carrying the weight of a betrayal he'd long since forgotten. I was in prison. And I'd built the prison myself. The day I let it go, and I want to be clear about this, I didn't forgive him. I'm not sure I ever did. What I did was decide that I was no longer willing to pay the price of keeping it. Because that's what a grudge is. It's not justice. It's not righteousness. It's a bill that comes due every single day. And you're the only one paying it. 3 months after I let it go, I'd lost 12 pounds I wasn't trying to lose. I was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. My hands stopped shaking. The tightness in my chest disappeared. Yeah, I spent 11 years punishing a man who had moved on. The only person in prison was me. I nearly died in a jail I built myself. You can be right. You can hold onto your justified anger and all the proof that you were wronged. You can carry that to your grave, or you can put it down and live. Don't do what I did. Let it go. Not for them. For you. Habit 7. Never stop having a reason. The last habit is the quietest one. And I think it's the one most people miss because it doesn't look like a habit at all. Every morning of my life, I have gotten out of this bed because there was a reason to, not because I felt like it, not because I was well rested. Because there was something that needed me to be upright. When I was young, it was my family, my wife, my children. In middle age, it was this land. Always something that needed fixing, something that needed tending, something that would fall apart if I didn't show up. Now, 105, it's simpler than that. It's the porch, the light, the particular quality of the morning before anyone else is awake. That is enough. That has always been enough. You see, I've known men who retired and were dead within 2 years. Strong men. Men who'd worked hard their whole lives. They finally got to stop, got to rest, got to do whatever they wanted whenever they wanted. And within 24 months, they were gone. Not from illness, not from anything the doctors could diagnose. They died because the body, in its great efficiency, concluded it was no longer needed. And it was right. The body is not designed to survive pointlessness. You remove the reason, and the body starts shutting down. Not all at once, but steadily, quietly. It begins the process of concluding its work. Find that thing worth getting up for. Something that doesn't negotiate with your comfort. Something that will still be there tomorrow, waiting whether you show up or not. Yeah, that thing will keep you alive longer than any doctor, any pill, any habit on this list. It's kept me alive for 105 years. And it's the only reason I'm still sitting here talking to you today. The moment you stop having a reason to get up, you won't. So find a reason, and hold on to it like your life depends on it. Because it does. The will is the engine. I'm not going to tell you these habits are easy. I'm not going to tell you everyone can do all of them. Poverty is real. Illness is real. Circumstance is real. I am not a fool, and I am not a liar. But I will tell you this. There is a difference between the conditions you're given and the posture you choose toward those conditions. And that posture, that choice every single morning to remain present, to refuse the comfortable surrender, to decide that today is not the day you quit, that is available to everyone, regardless of circumstance. Regardless of what you have or don't have. The habits I've given you, waking early, cold water, physical work, eating less, telling the truth, letting go, having a reason, those are the tools. But they're not the engine. The engine is the will. The decision made every single day that you're going to stay, that you're going to show up. That today is not the day you surrender to comfort. I've lived 105 years. I've buried everyone who told me I was doing it wrong. And I'm sitting here because I made a decision they didn't make. I decided I wanted to stay. And I kept deciding it. Every single morning. For a century. The only thing keeping most of you from a long life is that you haven't decided yet that you want one badly enough to earn it. Not wish for it. Not buy it. Earn it. That's the whole secret. That's the only one that matters. If these words mean something to you, please subscribe to my channel for more life advice. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep living, and stay blessed. See you soon. Bye.